It's a little bit late in the year, but this weather's been so wacky that frankly, I decided to winterize my roses late this year for a couple reasons. One was I had to recover from the foot surgery, but also, the weather. It's been so strange with the warm fluctuations of temperature and then back down cold again. So I look around for all different ideas. You'll find 1,000 different ways to winterize roses when you live in zone 5B or colder. You'll find them online, but sometimes I just look to, I ask some of my fellow master gardener friends what they do to winterize their roses, and then I look to places that have been very successful in winterizing the roses. I'm here at a public park in Des Moines, a rose garden, and I was kind of inspired by this simple way they winterize the roses. Now let me take a look and show you here. They have a lot of deer pressure in this area, and it's because they live right off of the woods here. So this is just wide open, and they trim down the roses as best they can, but then they wrap them up with some twine. And it's more about preventing wind rock, which can damage the root ball more than anything else. Now these are zone 5 hardy or even below. So, and you'll notice too how they have raked up some of the oak leaves at the base as further just natural insulation. So I'm going to take a page from this book, because I tell you what, these things come back every year. Some of these roses are older than I am, so they must know something. They have a lot of gardeners, master gardeners as well, who volunteer at this particular garden. So again, they get the work done. They do a good job, and we'll give you the update in the spring when the weather warms again. But I'm going to take an inspiration from this page and from this garden and do this. As you can see, even the small ones, I don't know if you can tell that, but see how they just have wrapped them up with twine. So I think that's a good lesson to learn. So that's what I'm going to try at home. Well, rule number 1 always begins with removing dead, diseased, dying canes. So for this rose, which I don't have the name of, that's what I did. For my next rose, which I really like, it's a first-year quicksilver rose. Looks pretty in bloom. I just planted it this year, and first put some mulch around the bottom, removed some of the diseased leaves. Boy, this one was really attacked by sawfly this year, so it really didn't get a good bloom until later. Louise Clements, this is also a newly planted rose which took off, wasn't as bothered by insects. So that one was just mostly, again, removing some of the older leaves, keeping a protective layer of mulch. Henry Kelsey, probably my favorite rose, not bothered by Japanese beetles quite so much, which I love. So mostly for this one, it's just trimming back any troubled canes and securing it like I did, as you saw in the rose garden, as they do there in Des Moines, so that there isn't any wind rock. Okay, and for Teresa Bonet, which is a vigorous grower, lots of prickly stems there. Wasn't really bothered by insects, but mostly just trying to keep it secured to this arbor. I want it to be growing over the arbor, so I secure it as well as I do the New Dawn, which is actually growing on the other side of this fence. And again, New Dawn is really hanging on to its leaves, mostly because it's been so mild. But I put the protective collar for New Dawn down below to protect it from rabbits, and take off the leaves here as best I can, mostly just securing it to the fence so it's not going to be ruined by any of the winds or snow heft that will eventually come. So that's what I'm working on here. But again, protecting the roots from rabbits. Well, that's it for this time. There's always more work to do, though. There is no snow. I can't tell you how unusual that is for zone 5B this time of year. I'm sure it's coming. If I know one thing, here in Iowa, we can always count on the weather changing. So, and you know what? Gardeners garden year-round, regardless of the weather, right? Even when we're inside, we're thinking about things that we have to do. It's no different than farming, right? I grew up on a farm, and I know even when there's snow cover on the ground, those farmers are always putting pencil to paper and thinking about the next thing they've got to plan. It's all about the plan. You got to make a plan to get ready. All right, well, I hope that you subscribe to the channel and like this video. And if you have questions, just let me know. I look forward to seeing you next time. Happy gardening.